Boom. Alrighty, cool. This is me talking to myself. This is me talking to others. But this is mainly me talking to myself. So, I'm Trin. Niggas know that I'm Trin. But if you knew me from my past and I went by my actual name, I don't go by that no more. My name's Trin. Okay, so this is my conundrum. I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing, and I've been progressively going at different areas of goals and progressing at them better, to be like, I'm consistently going to the gym and I'm doing things at the gym that is showing like little bits and pieces of progress for range of motion, being able to be stronger, being able to have these certain goals at the gym that I have to do certain exercises to be able to build up my strength to be able to complete. Boom, calisthenics. A nigga ain't never been strong before, but now a nigga got enough. Ooh. I ain't never been strong before. Like, I've been strong, but strong like you don't weigh like 200, like at the very least. Right now, I'm a smooth 195, and that's crazy. I don't know why, but I'm a smooth. Let that be. Let that be. But to grow up like insanely, let's say obese, and like to binge eat and do things of that nature and struggle with stuff like that, I've gotten a better grasp on like my physical health. I've gotten an insanely better grasp of my mental health, but that took like a couple years. I cuss a lot to actively be trying to tell myself not to. It's crazy. Um, Mental health wise, I've gotten to be a lot better than I once was when it comes to limiting thoughts and beliefs, and just being able to handle the realization of like, I can feel my body whenever it's in like certain states of the disorders I've come to have, and be able to regulate better, right? Depression, generalized anxiety, that one really don't give me as much as it used to. But generalized anxiety disorder, but depression, clinical depression, boy, got that right. So I'm cool with that. And me going to the gym helps me with that tremendously all the time. Like, it's a very big difference in your focus and the clarity inside your head whenever you are physically active. And like, I hate that that's really real, because to be overweight and like you don't like working out, you don't want that to be real. You want to be able to just be happy off the rip, like I woke up happy like other people. But it don't work like that. And if you're not taking care of your body, it really don't work like that. And I wasn't taking care of my body. I was just doing stuff that made me feel good when it came to eating, and I'm so off track. But it's that, right? So it's that. Then it's me trying to figure out how to like actively make a schedule. I figured out last year that if I treat my goals of things of a, like, you know how majority of people go to college, they have their like basic lesson plans to be able to actively have a schedule to make them be able to learn things at a certain pace and time, to then be able to achieve certain things and be able to say that I've mastered these certain subjects. Last year, I did it in my brain where I changed the certain subjects where like I made a at home school for myself, because I wasn't going to college because financial aid was slacking, and I was on suspension because my mental state got drastically worse, so I wasn't able to get financial aid to work myself up to get off of suspension. That's neither here nor there. I'm about to be 24. I figured out that if I can't go to college and actively do that lesson plan, to know that that really is beneficial to be able to achieve goals, and honestly to give you something to do to get out of like the space of just being in the house all the time and just housework. And even going from housework gym, it just didn't feel, I didn't feel actively like I was living like how I was whenever I just went to school for the one acting class to try and get my my GPA up so that I could get off the suspension. going to school actively made me feel so much better. Like in the wintertime, it ain't feel really good to get up, but like it gave me a reason to get up, and it gave me a reason to go socialize and make friends and do stuff with a community, and that makes a big difference in comparison to just being like an overall loner, which I am, but I enjoy it. So it's cool. I did that, and I turned myself into actively getting better to everyday, like my subjects that I have for like school. Whenever you go to school and you go to college, you have to have 12 credits to be a full-time student to get financial aid, and that's usually like at least 4 classes. So I told myself that I was going to give myself 4 classes or 4 subjects that I wanted to get better at and learn about, and I was going to break those into different days where I still go to work for 3 days, and then like for 2 days I would be going to school. And that's what I used to do. That's what I did. For 2 days I went to school, and 3 days I went to work. For those 2 days that I went to school, I would actually be able to study and have free time to do the things that I can't do whenever I'm going to work, when I don't have that time. Excuse me. So I wanted to learn how to rap. That was personal. That one was like to build confidence and to like I kind of just was in the studio trying to figure out how to make music in general and sing. I got that sinus infection. I got a sinus infection that forced me to learn how to rap, and that was the best thing I ever. So it was that, and then it was that, and then learning how to have confidence in like speaking overall, because I am autistic. It's very apparent for me. Well, it was very apparent when I learned like a couple years ago that I was autistic, that I made it like a part of my personality trait. And I found out what masking was, and I found out how I had to stop masking to be able to just show people my genuine personality, because it's very likable and it's genuinely me, and it's more, you have a lot more acceptance than trying to pretend to be something that you think society wants you to be, in the aspect of being like neurodivergent, always being the oddball out because you're not worried about things that the usual majority is worried about. And I take a lot of pride in knowing that I generally like to be the loner who just, or like the popular loner who people know about, and like I'm really chill and cool when you get to talk to me, but I still be in my own little personal bubble. And to also be spiritual and worry about energies and people affecting your energy, and being able to stay focused, and like perception. What's it called? What's it, not even perception? Projections. And what's it called? Peer pressure. I just had to get off that to just be like, I always been just me for real. I just be doing me and not worry about other things, because I feel like I have more important things in my brain to worry about. But in this case, when it came to schooling and things of that nature, I was like, I want to learn how to rap. I want to learn how to make songs. And it was just all music, basically, if we were honest. The acting class got me out my shell to be able to be comfortable talking in front of people and like almost playing a character. And I didn't realize how powerful make-believe is in general. To be like, I didn't know how powerful make-believe is until like I kind of slipped into a headspace of seeing how powerful your brain is, and that if you believe in yourself, and honestly, belief being one of the main things in faith whenever it comes to like religion, and belief being one of the main things in like confidence, that as well. So it was me learning how to rap, and that built confidence. It was me, I already knew that I could write music, like I could write lyrics, but the song structure and making it make sense, like learning about what a pre-chorus, bridge, hook, verses, for real, let alone trying to learn how to rap and like being like, okay, make this rhyme, you need to do 16 bars to like 32. I'm just actively now like pushing my brain to do like 32 every single day, even though I see that it's starting to cause burnout. At one point, from like J. Cole, he was like, you wake up every morning and you just write a full page onto a piece of paper to get your brain rolling so that you could be able to write better lyrics throughout the day. I was doing that, but it didn't feel like anything, because I write full pages of just whole lot of all the time, and it didn't feel like it was aiding me in like getting better at lyricism. So I started to just do like 16 bars every morning, and that helped me. And then it was really a big fight to push myself to be like active until I started getting like hurt. Like my feelings started being like hurt, self-inflicting. And I was like, I need to do something to either make this hurt make sense or to make the hurt go away. And like working out was really helping. It was really helping. And like I was going into like deep depression spills, and I was like, yeah, I need that exercise in the beginning of my day, or else I'm gonna look at the day like it got fog on it, like the windshield fogged up the whole day. And I was like, I don't need that. So it was really just music and fitness last year. But it also was me trying things to get out of my comfort zone, to be like comfortable with like being seen. But like that was actively me just doing it in general, and like kind of getting over that fear of like people looking at me or worrying about people judging me, and being like, internet work both ways. Like what you putting out, other people gonna see. It's not just you on this internet and you talking to yourself. Like how it feel, that's how it feel. But that's not the case. So that's not the case. That's not the case, right? And that's cool. It's whatever. It was a big lesson. But right now, I'm really generally trying to figure out how I'm gonna like. One of the big things that I learned last year is how you spend your free time. How you spend your free time affects generally your trajectory in anything. You know, that majority of my free time, I was just using it to lay away and waste away, looking at other people do stuff and dreaming of myself wanting to do things and not physically being able to, because I had the fear of trying. I had the fear of failing. But you know, you got to be terrible before you get good at something. You got to be trash at something before you before you get good at it. I'm thinking about some of those raps. Like lyrically, it wasn't bad, but delivery, oh, whoa, delivery crazy. Delivery was, and I still need to work on delivery, but it was interesting. And to like, focus, to do that. That one threw me off terrible. Let me get back right. What was I saying? Building a plan for me to be able to do the things that I want to learn, to be able to get better at them, right? So I was very overwhelmed last year by my life of doing nothing. Basically, I was doing a lot, but like I was majority of the day just like smoking and like having that one steady job and like looking at myself. That helps self-love wise, to be comfortable with like seeing myself in a mirror and getting comfortable with my body, to be fighting body dysmorphia and other things. But that didn't progress me to be like to do things and like actually accomplish goals that I want to dream about and like chase my dreams. So I had to get past that mindset of just like sitting and like watching and like thinking that you could do it and wholeheartedly being like, I got that. And then when you actually do it, be like, I don't feel as confident as I thought that I feel doing this. And like, I don't have the practice and training to feel as confident as other people who do this, because they do have that training. You need to get right. So I started to do that, and I got comfortable with that, and even comfortable with like posting on social media to be like, somebody gonna watch this, somebody gonna see this, like, and just be cool with it. But hopefully it's helpful and more beneficial. And like I like documenting my journey. I like feeling like I give myself this like space to have my own world to sit in, to know that other people's energies affect you so badly, even when you don't want them to, if you don't have the mental strength and self-awareness. But also read the 4 Agreements, but I don't know if it's the 4 Agreements or it's his book of Master Yourself. It helps you realize about the dreamscape that you live in of being what other people made you to be. That's another thing. But I had a little task that I wanted to accomplish. Those are the tasks that I was trying to accomplish. This is all terribly this is like a brain dump, but like verbally. I'm gonna let this be a brain dump, but verbally. That's kind of cool. There's that. I want to get better at writing lyrics. I'm pretty decent now, but I know that like I've gotten to a place where like I'm kind of just like here, and I need to keep growing and keep pushing myself, right? To find a space where I struggle so that I can like accomplish that struggle and blah blah. Right now, it's with trying to make a schedule that helps with this, and I see that how much having a schedule helps me to be like the schedule of going to school, going to work, and having that set time to go to the gym made me have the times where I can get through the day, and the day doesn't seem long as hell. The day doesn't seem terribly long, like I'm trying to get past this day. Like I got depression, man. Let me go to sleep, boy. When is it gonna be nighttime so I can go to sleep? I'm tired. I've been actively living for too long right now. Let me go to sleep and feel like I'm just like, let me go to sleep, right? After I fought that insomnia a couple years ago too. But it's get past that. The day long. I'm sorry. I'm over here like, the day just long as hell. So get past that. And I don't want to have to edit this, but I know I'm going to have to edit this. This is terrible. Okay. Let me write that down so when I'm editing, it's easier for me. Because I'm about tired. And getting past the thing of learning how to edit. Learning how to do something new is so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable, but I'm starting to find a lot of pleasure in it, but it's so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. And I always like being comfortable. Like, I was raised by a Taurus. They like comfort. Like, it was, I just, why I gotta do so much all the time to grow? But, like, it's cool. Like 1639. Okay. So I built the space of making a structure for me to be able to learn things. Did I follow that every day to a T? No. If I did, would I be a lot farther in life and the things that I wanted to learn if I did? Yeah. But was it hard for me to be able to do that? And as a person who has no earth placements and also who's a Gemini, does that same feeling of like doing everything every single day and repeating it feels tedious to make you not want to do stuff? It made me feel more burnt out, to be honest, to feel like I'm doing the same thing every single day. Every single day. Ain't no spice, no nothing, no sugar, no little something to make it feel like different for real. I ain't like that. But it was helping me grow, but I ain't like that, and that's why I wasn't able to stay consistent. But this year is about being like consistent and having like discipline and being dedicated towards like my craft and who I am as a person, to know that if I do, let's say that I learned the piano like how I want to learn the piano for a year, I'm about to be beastie at that by December. I'll stop. So if I do that, this is where it was like, okay, you need to start to make a plan. I'm really good at making plans. I make plans all the time. Achieving those plans, to be for real, I went through my notebooks like maybe like a week or two ago, and I looked at all the to-do lists and the things that I wanted to achieve. The way I was checking them things off, I was always the one who made to-do lists and the thing, but don't ever like check them off because like I ain't reading my stuff back. I'm reading my stuff back and I'm checking my list. I'm checking it twice, feeling like Saint Nick for real. And I'm accomplishing things. I'm like, yeah. And do I like the feeling of accomplishing things? Yeah, because to be so humbled in the gym and try and do like lift weights and weight train, to have the 15-10 feel like it's something so heavy to me in the beginning, to be like, you don't casually lift 10-15 pounds over your head for no reason all the time. It looks like it's not. I'm like, oh. And have these older ladies show me out, I was like, oh. It was very humbling, and I was very sad in there. Like, you could see it on my face, I was mad. But to be where I'm at now, I'm just be like, I'm lifting heavier. That made me feel so good and accomplished. To see my body in the ways of body recomposition. Talking too fast. Like that was so rewarding and achieving. To go into the mirror and be like, yeah, I actually really like looking at myself, and have people be like, yeah, I see you when you're in the gym and you're like in your mode and you're kind of just looking at yourself in the mirror dancing. I'll be in there for me, and I'll be entertained. Hey, I just so happen to see it, and I'm starting to get back out of that. That's good. I've been getting back into that recently, to know that like in between sets I do like to dance. to be a person who was scared of mirrors and cameras, very big accomplishments. So I see what consistency and discipline do for you to learn, to go into the aspect of learning how to make music and feel like I can't make nothing. To make the very first song that I made and have it feel like it took so long to do it, to be like everything. I know the words, but the words don't make sense to do it in real life. Like, and then to learn, and then to try to learn the producing side of it all. Let alone I had the lack of belief in myself, so I'm making everything extra hard. Like, it was so much, but I got through it, and now I gotta keep pushing through it to be able to get better and better and better, because I really enjoy making music. I really enjoy rapping. I really enjoy like producing on a low. Like, I enjoy every little bit and piece of music, and I always knew that I love music to be somebody who had that Genius app. So if you got that Genius app, you deciphering them lyrics. You seeing who the writers on this. You seeing who the producers on this. You want to know who made this and who all was a part of this. So I had that on my phone for years to be like, whenever you try to connect with people about music, you know they're on a different space when they got that app, because you trying to learn, you trying to understand. And I was trying to understand. Right? So that, and to have the songs that I've made and be like, okay, I'm pretty comfortable with them, and I'm pretty confident that I know other people really enjoy them, and I enjoy a few, but I want to be able to enjoy them like I enjoy a select few, to actually listen to myself, to be like, I like these ones. I like these ones. Like, I like these certain ones. The ones that I feel like I had the most fun with and wasn't so like pouring my soul out was so fun. And like, I like pouring my soul out, because when I need, I gotta get that out. But that stuff was just so cool. It was just so cool. So I want to continue to get better at it. So here's the thought process. Here's the thought process. Where's the notebook that has, squeeze me, I got a lot of notebooks. This one doesn't have the parts where I figured out what, because I was going to go to school this semester, because I was in it last semester, and I was going to take more classes, because I was like, my financial aid. But the way the financial aid was set up, I'm not going to talk about, because it's going to make me mad. But I should have been where I should have been, but now I'm not. This one doesn't have that. Look at this notebook. This one's so pretty. The spiral thing is like gold, and like, it's so pretty. I got this for Christmas. This is such a cute notebook. Like, this is such a cute, and the little notes, can you see it? It say notes, and it's like iridescent. It's shiny. This is such a good notebook, right? Boom. Is this where I have the I think I started to use this as just notes of things that, like, whenever I go out and I want to look over certain things from like books that I'm reading, and like little exercises that I'm trying to do, I could like look at it. Like, this is like my going out notebook. I don't think that this has that. I think I had a different notebook when I was in the I'm lying. My fault. I don't know if half the time I should put out how smart I am on the internet, like, sometimes, but I take pride in generally liking to learn, but like, not too much, for real, not too much. I don't need to read that part. That's not what this is about. What was the classes I was going to take? It was going to be American history, public speaking, applied music, introduction to jazz. I was supposed to have introduction to jazz, and I was so excited for that class. I was so excited for that class. I was so excited for that one. I was so excited for that introduction to jazz, boy. I was so excited. I was so excited for that introduction to jazz. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show. Ooh, cover it. I just gotta pop out it. So the options was public speaking. What was the ones I was gonna do for sure? It was gonna be public speaking, introduction to jazz. I thought I had like a humanities one. They had a creative writing one, and I was trying to do that for real. Where did it though? Like for real. Okay, for sure it was gonna be public speaking, applied music, and applied music was where they was gonna teach me piano. Right? American history, because I need to get back on my political thing. Like I need to get back to learning about this country, because I gotta actually be able to speak up better. And I just, words leave me whenever I need them the most, unless it's like something very passionate, like something I'm passionate about that deals with like defending somebody. When it's kids, that is the easiest thing for me to talk about to anybody in any aspect of like child development really fast, let alone it deals with their mental health or just their freedom to be themselves and have individuality. I could talk about that really easily to anybody and very like confidently. Other things, like I need to be able to talk about other things because I can, and if nobody else will, like why not? So, and I want to be able to do like big things. In my head, one of my things is that like I want to have a TED Talk. I want to do a TED Talk so badly. And to know as an autistic person how scared I am of like public speaking, or was scared, and like I fought for that. I fought to get better at talking to people in public. That social anxiety used to get me. Woo, it used to get me. And I can go up and talk to anybody at any time, at any place. But like it used to get me. I want to actively be able to talk to a large amount of people, like a crowd of people, and not feel nervous, not stumble over my words. And if I'm stumbling over my words, just like really go past it. And I kind of do that already with like being a substitute teacher, but I want to be able to do it about certain topics that I'm very passionate about, to be able to give people more information for like certain things and give them a better awareness of certain topics. So with that, I had the public speaking, American history, applied music, and then my fourth one I think was going to be introduction to jazz, right? That was going to be like 4 credits. 4 credits each, to be like 12, and then you're a full-time student. I was going to have 2 days to do those classes and then 3 days of work, and then in my like every other day time is the time that I have to do the homework, blah blah. Now I have to do that again, but like build a better schedule so that I could also like do things like create content to like put out. And like even though putting out content for other people isn't my biggest passion, putting out content to see my progress is very helpful and beneficial. And I gotta figure out a time space for me to figure out how to do that. I forgot that I was thinking about taking an actual yoga class. I thought that was crazy that they offered that. They had theater history. To get in that acting class and hang out with the theater kids was amazing. Their imagination, their personalities, top tier. That was the best part. Having conversations in the class, that was the best part. And them like schooling me about like different things and backgrounds of like film. It's a cinematography. Is it a filmography? Different things about being in the camera and like the different angles and how you have to do certain takes to get this one scene out. It was just so cool to see the behind the scenes of how much the production actually has to put into certain things to be able to get the cool video clip that you're like shooting. That was very cool. And then the aspect of acting and like having different placements that you need to set out and having different marks and what comes into building a character and like memorization, that was very hard and cool for me to learn about. But I had theater history, the literature of theater, acting. Acting also made me feel better to be like, you feel like you low-key, high-key playing a role of like, you don't feel like you could accomplish what you want to accomplish when it comes to music, when it comes to being a public figure and like speaking for certain things and like that. And I felt like I needed to play a role to be able to build that confidence and belief of like who I can be when it comes to that. And I sometimes still feel like that. So the acting classes and like the studying acting was going to be very good for that, to be able to play make believe and be strong even whenever you don't feel strong, and just give out that act and feel like you give that performance based thing of just being able to give quality confidence at any time, or quality a good confident character and whatever you're trying to be in that moment. And I felt like that was very, I didn't know there was different things that you could study with that, and that felt like really cool to learn about. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So I think I'm getting off task. Public speaking. I public speak whenever I go and I do like teaching. So I don't feel like the public speaking has to be the biggest thing that I'm studying in the background that I was going to study as a class. I could study that in the aspects of, in my everyday time of talking about certain things, I can like get better at that. But I don't think I need to study that the way that I wanted to, and to know that that is still a requirement for me to obtain my associates and blah blah in arts, which is by far the longest period of time to get associates. But I'm gonna get that whole, and then I'm be able to do other things in my free time to keep learning. So eventually that will happen in my own space and time. But I don't feel like public speaking has to be one of those things that I'm focusing on as a course for myself. And I have a book about it that would definitely like help me. But I feel like it's communications in general. So should I keep that? Like, communication in general is something I want to get better at. I just want to be an overall better communicator about a lot of things. Turn me up. Ooh. Turn me up. Ooh. I could do that. I feel like I'm procrastinating because I need to go over like 3 songs that I'm going to the studio for, but like I gotta do this first before I could do that, because people ain't even up for me to be in the studio. Sometimes I gotta pop out a show. Certified Boogeyman, one up the go. I feel like American history I'm not going to take until later on, whenever I actually can take that class to focus on that. As long as I'm actively pursuing or actively trying to stay aware publicly about what's going on in the public, publicly stay aware of publicly what's going on. Like, come on now, communication skills, that definitely got to be one. As long as I'm staying up to date about what's happening in general around the world and just other places other than just my house, to be honest with you. Learning stuff in the news used to scare me. As long as I'm staying like aware of things politically, hopefully that doesn't have to be an actual course that I put into study like how I wanted to. Right? Applied music, that's piano. That's finna be a course. That's finna be a course. Oh, look, I got some space right here. That's finna be a course. I can do it right here. Cool. That's finna be a course. Applied music, piano. Piano is a course, because I'm going to put piano with music theory, because I need to learn music theory. And music theory is so terribly, like, it's interesting on certain parts, but then it gets boring. And I'm just sitting here like, dang, be consistent. Even when you don't want to do something, do it. Like, ooh. And then get past reading certain things to do it. I'm like, ooh, this feel boring again. And I'm not in no real class. It's my self-made class. I could just go get up right now if we being for real. But I'm trying to be consistent. I'm trying to do it now. Keep going. So piano slash music theory. If we just talk about music in general, then it could be producing. And to learn about different like little effects and stuff, honestly, not even producing, but just the engineering side of like leveling and being able to hear certain things. But I feel like I'm going to actively be able to do that as well once I finally get every piece of equipment to know that my DAW and stuff started messing up, so now I can't use my microphone. So there's that. But it's more like beat creation. I want to be able to make beats. And then I have this poetry handbook that I'm reading that is so hard. It's so, and it's not even hard. You could take that however you mean in every way. When I say hard, it's hard to comprehend. It's hard to be like, oh, I didn't know that poetry was this cool. Actually, if you really get into it, to be like, there's different things for different consonants and vowels. They have different parts to make it make sense of how you build a word. To be like what feeling you get when you say this certain word. Rock versus stone, that was an interesting concept that took me like too long to reread that one chapter. And it's a small book to keep reading that chapter to comprehend, but it'll help me with making better things and lyrics and stuff. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show. Certified boogeyman, I'm the wonder of the skull. That's really loud right now. Okay. When it comes to creative writing, I could write raps. Like I could write, okay, you just need a couple verses and then you need a hook or you need a chorus. Not even a hook for real, because it don't even be that catchy for real. But just a chorus. I'm cool. I'm smooth. And like to write it about a certain topic. If I'm very passionate about that topic, it's kind of easy for me to stay on topic. But sometimes, depending on like the aspect, to jump into different people's worlds of like how they write and like what type of songs that they put out is kind of hard. But like I want to be able to challenge myself to do it. So like creative writing is something that I always want to do and always be focused on doing. And reading this book and doing like little examples for myself while I'm reading this book is very helpful with that. This is 37 minutes long. That's wild. That's wild. Um that helps. And whenever it comes to like rap, because I want to be able to just become an overall better rapper all the time. I didn't know I was gonna like rapping because I genuinely enjoy rapping. Like it's really cool. It's really cool. But it's not easy though. Like it's not easy. Like it's so not easy. It's so not easy. It's so not easy. But it's fun. And like to see people's reactions to different things, to be like lyrically, I can make something like you I can make a lyric that's really like, oh, I didn't know that, for other people to be thinking. I just told my friend who's on the song that we have together that thinking with the chrome isn't about generally a chrome like a gun, but it sound like it, and it's more about me like looking up stuff on Google, because we started to get deep into our talking about like philosophical things. It's like, girl, if you know how long I be on Google asking questions, I was like, that's why I said thinking with the chrome in that part of the song. And they was like, what? I was like, yeah, like that's exactly what I mean. That double entendres, that part, and like wordplay, that's really cool for me, and it gets my brain to be like, this is fun, and like the challenge. Right now, wordplay, I don't think I'm really on it like that. A part of me feel like that's cap. But like I want to get better at it. I want to get better at it. And if I learn better things with figurative language, it makes it to where I can make things more appealing and more like attention grabbing. Because alliteration, assonance, and consonants, that in itself will make somebody want to like listen to the poem or like whatever you want to say better. Like I ain't realized that, and like everybody know a good onomatopoeia. What. Like everybody know a good onomatopoeia, but like to put that into things now, it would just make it better. So in rhyme scheme, Lord have mercy. Do do do. Do 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 do. That's my head. Rhyme scheme, wordplay, metaphors. I wrote this down in like my phone of like the components of rap that I would want to like still keep focusing on. So there's that. I'm trying to figure out what is the things that I do to make a consistent schedule of practicing these things. Like, and I have vocal lessons, but like the energy to really do vocal lessons is really it would help so much. But the energy I have right now to do vocal lessons is just not, it's not there like the energy to keep just rapping. It's not. But I do generally feel like I do sing intuitively whenever I feel down and out and I need something to just like lift me up. I'll just start humming or like singing things and it starts to make me feel better. So like I do need to do that. Oh, my foot. Lord mercy. Okay. Piano, music theory, beat creation, creative writing, rap. This kind of falls into one. And then it was like lesson plans. I want to consistently give myself lesson plans to be like, already, I'm not going to overwhelm myself by doing too many things at once or trying to learn too many things at once. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do one chapter, like 2 chapters a week, and then I'm going to be able to do blah, blah, boo, doo, boo, while I do blah, blah, boo, doo, boo. Like, instead of being like every single day for a week, you're going to do these chapters, you're going to do these drills, you're going to do, it makes me feel entirely burnt out and like I'm not having fun with being able to make music. So I gotta do something. I gotta figure something out for real, for real. I feel like low key, high key, I'm finna put one of the subjects that I want to study actively is to be religion. Shake the table. Like I actually there was a class where I could study religions that I was thinking about taking, but I just chose American government instead. I think religions is one of the ones where I generally want to know. And like history, that would help as well to know that things just repeat themselves. And if you know knowledge about history, you can make a lot of comparisons. That would be great lyrically, and it would be great for like connecting with people and being able to talk about things and honestly be able to see patterns. Autism, autism. And I also want to make a self-help book, but every time I make a self I have the idea of my self-help book, it was more of like bringing awareness of the certain mental health issues that like a lot of people do talk about generally, to see that in the difference of years of being like in high school and like really studying about mental health because I knew personally something was wrong with me and nobody else like kind of talked about it, to like now there's so much awareness for like mental disorders and mental health issues and things of that nature, that a part of me doesn't know what I would want to make the self-help book to be about. I know generally that what I did to help myself become a better person and not be in the same mental state where I was beforehand could help a lot of people. But I don't know if I generally feel like it's book worthy to want to put that out, produce that, and like give it to a lot of people. Like I always wanted to, and like I want that. Like I want that New York bestseller for real. Like I want that, and like I'm not gonna say that, but something happened in my head. I want that, but I want it to be something that's not gonna burn me out while I'm pursuing other things that I'm trying to learn, and something that I can be very proud of and like make something that is so beneficial. In my head, when I was first talking about it in the beginning, I was like, I wanted to make a self help or like a mental health book that people can put into schools. They'd be like, yeah, guess what? In your PE class, blah blah. You got to read this book. We got to go over this book. This is a part of the curriculum. God dang, this in the curriculum. You need to learn this. Hmm. Lord God, should I focus on writing a book? Like, I also feel like at this point right now, who would want to listen to me to be like they give off really good help, like they give off really good advice, and I know like the verbal medicine eat for real, for real. Like I know that. If I did mind, body, and soul, it would be my aspects of learning, and it was supposed to be growing pains. It was learning about my mind and how I genuinely help sedate it, helped it to become brighter. Body, am I kind of figuring out what I would write this book about? Stop playing with that girl for real, for real. Do 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 This in my head. Do 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 do. And I'm moving. I'm moving into my own crib eventually. So it's that, and that's gonna be stressful. But I'm gonna have a space where I could just generally do what I want. And there's not a lot of limitations at this house. Like I've worked really hard with my family. My goodness gracious. It gotta be mind, body, and soul and family trauma. That's the one. Mind, body, and soul and family issues. That's the book for real. Like woo. And we got right. At least I did. They did too, because I could handle them better, but it still was wild. My body, how I became comfortable with my body and self love. And honestly, how I like do the thing. The mental health part was why I started going to the gym, but it definitely helps overall. Like being able to feel confident in your appearance and like feel confident in what your body looks like and not look at it and despise it. That was something that took a lot of time to like genuinely have like that type of that love for myself and my appearance that I generally thought that I had for like at least a couple years, to see that I didn't have it the way that I thought that I had it, to see my body change, and it just derailed me when it came to like body recomp. So that was interesting. But like I started to be able to learn to like really like my body, and like if I wanted to be for real, The fact that I still have this at the bottom of my arms would be something that's like, you hate your arms. In high school, you used to never ever show your arms because of this, blah blah. Now I'm just sitting here and I'll casually look at myself and I'm like, I'm getting muscles. I ain't never had muscles before. And then that's it. That's the only thought that comes to my head, and that makes me feel so much better than tearing myself down. Boy, I'm like, you getting muscles. Woo, you ain't never had muscles before. And like, that's it. It don't go past a lot. It don't go past that for real. It don't go past that for real. And then so it was like my spirituality. In my journey with religion. And I've studied a lot of different religions to feel like the one where I was like the most spiritual was when I felt like I was honoring spirit and wasn't like a Christianity based thing until like I felt like I had the craziest ego death to then like start to try and learn Christianity, and it was helping. It was helping, and it's like a story based thing that I want to get better at or like understand. But like that's why and like to understand different people, religion. Excuse me, because Buddhism, there are certain aspects of it that I'd be like, for real, like there's certain aspects of different religions, of like a lot of different religions that I'm like, and then there's certain parts, hey, don't shoot me, don't shoot me, don't shoot me. There's certain parts of like weird, like not even weird, because boy, that was me, of like being spiritual and being very holistic in the way that you honor the earth, and it's on some like, it feel like witchcraft, but like it's not, but it feel like witchcraft. Like that was very beneficial. I was protected. My ancestors here, spirit guides here, they still here, but like it was different. It was different, and I was like, yeah, I put that water on my altar all the time. Like really, 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 it was really different. But like it's little bits and pieces. That's why I want to get into that. It's always be my baby. Okay. It was killing me to figure out that. It was killing me. It was killing me drastically to figure that out for real. But I'm not editing this. I'm posting this as a brain dump. Saved by the Bell.